Welcome back to Big Mama's house today, y'all. It's me and Papa Bubbles just hanging out. We thought we'd have
Hello, everybody.
a little podcast to get today for you, give you something to listen to during your work this week, or while you're doing the dishes,
Yeah, or
or
if you're grounded in your bedroom and not have nothing else to do.
yeah, or going for a walk, or working out, or whatever.
Yeah,
We're here for you. Um, Today we're going to talk a little bit at first about something fun, then we're going to get a little bit more serious. And just so you know, dogs in the background are barking because the neighbors are cutting their lawn, and oh my god, there's a human outside moving, and it's next door and they can see it, and it's a thing. So just ignore them boofing and barking in the background. Um, Today we want to talk about Marvel movies. There's several coming out this year, and we have been fans for
yeah.
years. We have watched all of them in order multiple times. My favorite personally is Iron Man. I'm really hoping that Tony's coming back. We love Tony Stark. We love, oh my gosh,
The Guardians.
the Guardians of the
Yeah,
Galaxy. I love them. And it's the cast. It's the characters and the cast that makes the characters so real to us.
yeah.
That's what I think. And it's more of an upbeat vibe. It's more a little bit comedy thrown in, even though they're fighting, like these epic battles. But they're, about family and loved ones and, their friends. And it's like,
They fight for each other. They're
yeah,
family. They're
it's
family.
more, whereas DC is very dark and
Yes. Marvel's more family oriented.
everybody's dead. Nobody's got any friends, and it's and don't get me wrong, because I'm a Superman fan. I like those characters, but the way they make them, it's so dark. And I'm more of I got enough darkness in real life. When I slip into my fantasy land with movies and TV and books and things, I don't want to be reminded of the daily day crap that we deal with anyway. I want to be taking somewhere fun, somewhere good, you know. So, what about you? What's your favorite so far?
I like, as far as Marvel goes, I like Iron Man. You know, well, I don't know if anybody else could play Iron Man other than Robert Downey Jr.
I know he's the
I
best.
think he's the only one that could play him to his full potentials
No, he
now.
could never be recast.
No,
Never.
no. And I think that with all of the original characters, like Captain America, I don't think anybody else could play him. All right.
Correct.
Guardians of the Galaxy, there
Absolutely.
could be no recast in any of
The only
them.
great recast was, oh my gosh, I'm having such a brain fart day, you guys. I'm so sorry.
There was no recast in Marvel.
Yeah, there was.
Oh, Incredible Hulk,
Yes, thank you. Thank you, thank you.
Mark Ruffalo.
He is an amazing, amazing.
The other Hulk wasn't Marvel at the time.
No, and don't, I am not dissing the original
Yeah, he's a good actor.
Hulk.
He's a good
It's
actor.
just, it was not a role for
Well,
him.
the original Hulk
Well,
is Bill Bixby.
yeah.
That's way back. That's showing my timeline right there. I used to watch the series.
Yeah, that's a little
That's a little.
ahead of my time.
That's like the original Batman is Adam
Right.
West. That's way before your time
Which is
too.
Lizard's one of her favorite genres is the
Yeah.
really old Batman's.
Superman wasn't Christopher Reeves either. It was it was black and white when it first came out. I do know that,
Yeah,
but
not
I forget
ahead
the
of me.
guy's name. But it wasn't Christopher Reeves, and then it
No, but
wasn't.
in our generation, like our kids don't know who
Mhm.
that is.
Yeah,
He was unfortunately unable to do movies by the time they came around. But to me, Superman is, well, now I really, really, really like Henry Cavill as Superman. And I cannot believe that he is getting
you don't like The
mistreated.
Witcher as Superman?
Uh, I love The Witcher.
I know,
Okay.
but not how about a Superman?
What do you mean?
He was a Superman at one point in time.
Yeah, it was the same guy, Henry Cavill.
Oh, okay, sorry. I was thinking of Brandon Ralph.
I don't
There's
know who
also
that
there's
is.
also another guy before him.
Oh, yeah, I don't know. But yeah, to their generation, Henry Cavill is Superman. And so them wanting to replace him or just remove Superman from all the future DC movies because of whatever reason, I think it's terrible. Like if I understand correctly, and I could be wrong, y'all can correct me. I'm sure you will if I make a mistake. He left The Witcher because he was supposed to do a bunch of DC stuff as Superman, and he had a couple other projects he was going to do, and then out of the blue um, decided they weren't going to use him.
Got recast or
No, they just cut Superman out of the movie, I think. And this is they're not going to have him in future ones either, which you can't have DC like the Avenger, not that's not Avengers, what they called the Super Friends or
Yeah.
whatever,
Mhm.
without Superman. I mean, he's the super in the Super Friends.
Well, well, in our generation, I think, well, my generation, you're a little less than my generation, but Christopher Reeves was the best
Yes.
Superman.
He
Just
was-
like Michael Keaton was the best Batman.
Yeah, I hate to say it. I'm not even talking about the newest one. I refuse to even give him airtime. But back to Marvel. So we just
Yeah, we just talked about DC, and
it's all right.
that's not even part
You
of
know how we are. We
platform.
meander all over the place.
Yeah.
We just saw the new Ant-Man movie, Ant-Man and
Wasp, Quantumania.
Quantumania.
The timeline kind of screws me up, but
But I really enjoy it, and I really enjoy the recast of his daughter. And I apologize, I cannot remember her name. I'm having a really bad brain fart today. I don't know if it's the meds or what, but I'm having issues with my memory. But she was on Supernatural.
I never knew her name anyway. So.
Yeah, but she was. I really enjoy her. She's a great little actress. So I'm really glad they recast her because I wasn't ever like the little girl that played his
Yeah.
daughter. She was really cute and good, but then when they
They had to age
aged
her.
her up,
Mhm.
well, obviously because he was gone for 5 years during the blip, and like that one, like she wasn't really in it that much, but there wasn't a lot of personality.
Yeah. Well,
Like she just seemed kind of flat in that, but that's why
but
like
now,
she's
a big part of it.
Yes.
And if you haven't seen it, we don't want to spoil anything.
But it's great.
If you
It's
wait till it
great.
comes on Disney Plus, I'm not sure if it's on Disney Plus yet or not. But if you're waiting for that, well, then I'm not going to spoil anything of how it goes. It's just you got to pay attention. It does get confusing. I mean, if you're in the movie theater and you had to like go to the bathroom and come back, you're missed some stuff.
Yeah, you can't miss any of this movie. Well, the beginning's a little bit slower,
Yeah,
so if you gotta go, do it
Do
then.
it in the beginning.
But at the end and the middle, like you're gonna miss stuff if you take that 5 minutes to take a bathroom break.
And as far as actor wise, I think Ant-Man is probably my favorite actor wise.
Yes,
Paul Rudd.
yeah, he's always been one of your favorites.
Yeah.
More when he was more on like the comedy and
Yeah, I liked him in other movies too. Well,
Yeah.
I like Robert Downey Jr. in other
Oh,
movies
I
too.
love
Like
him.
The Judge was one of my favorite ones with him in it. But also Deadpool. I mean, I think Marvel
oh
probably
yeah,
has
Deadpool's awesome.
Marvel probably has the best character actors.
Yes, absolutely.
Actors.
They take the time to find someone who can really bring that character
Yeah.
to life and like embody all the parts of it and not just what they think they want to show.
Yeah.
And and I really dig how they get into their characters, and they really, a good actor makes you forget that it's not really that character that you're looking at.
Yeah.
And they do every time.
Yeah.
So the next one coming out is,
Guardians of the Galaxy 3, which is already out.
is it? Oh my gosh, that's right.
It's already in theaters.
We're going to get to the reason why we haven't seen it yet later on the episode, y'all, because normally if there's a new Marvel movie out, we are the first ones in the theater to see it. But this time we weren't able to, which we're going to talk about later. So don't give us any spoilers either in the comments or any whatever, because maybe by the time this airs, we'll have seen it, I hope.
Yeah.
Oh, we're waiting for it to come out on Disney Plus or HBO or one of those usually shows it right away. Well, not right away anymore.
I think
but
that's the next one that came out.
yeah, and then isn't there another one later this year?
There's some series that are coming out on
That's
Marvel
right.
or no Disney Plus.
Yeah.
Like I believe there's another Marvel or Miss Marvel movie coming out.
Mm-hmm.
I don't believe it's with Brie Larson. I don't think it's that one. But there's a bunch of different series coming out on Disney Plus this year.
Are you talking about Captain Marvel?
Captain Marvel, yeah, but I think it's with the Marvel family. It's about
And
that.
okay, I know this may not be popular, but I am not a Brie Larson fan. She has the flattest affect. She has no facial emotion. She just does not scream, I'm a badass chick, but I also I'm human,
Yeah.
There's no emotion with her. It's like, even with the scenes where she was talking to her best friend and the little girl and she was starting to like get some of her memories back and stuff, it's like there's nothing. Like you can't connect to the character because the actress is just wrong. And I'm not saying she's a bad actress, don't get me wrong. I'm sure she's great in a lot of other stuff. But
She
just
wasn't bad in Kong.
no, for this role,
Yeah.
yeah, but she was great in that movie. You know, it's just something about
And you're not the only one that feels that way.
oh, good.
There are actually no. I mean, I'm not talking about me. I'm talking about other fans.
Yeah,
There's actually people petitioning about getting her out of the Marvel
right.
family. You know, after the Endgame,
Yeah.
they wanted her. Actually, I think it was before that. I think it was before.
Well, she
after
was
Infinity
barely
Wars.
in Endgame. She
Yeah, I
showed
think it
up
was
the
before
last
Infinity
5
Wars.
minutes.
Yeah, she was in the beginning
Yeah,
and the end.
yeah. So it's not like
It's not like we miss her.
right,
Not
exactly.
like Iron Man.
And like when the new Captain Marvel movie comes out, I mean, we're gonna watch it, but I'm
We
not
watch them
excited
all.
about it.
Yeah, we
It's
watched.
not except like I was excited about Ant-Man. I'm excited about Guardians of the Galaxy. I know there's another. What's the other one? Like the Shang-Chi or whatever.
Yeah, we like that one.
I love that
Mhm.
one.
The Eternals, I kind
oh.
of liked, but we all know. Oh, well, I know why you didn't kind of like it. But she wasn't even
I
a big part of it.
enjoyed the everything about that movie except for Angelina Jolie. I cannot stand her. I think she's fake and phony and a user and a manipulator, and I that's my personal opinion. Nobody has to agree with me. If you are a Angelina Jolie fan, I sincerely apologize to you. You may think she is the sweetest, most wonderful person on the planet, but I respectfully disagree.
So would Brad Pitt.
I like Brad Pitt a
No, I
lot.
mean he would actually disagree with me.
Oh yeah, Brad Pitt is like
Respectfully.
he's my homie in my heart, you know.
But I mean, back to Marvel. You know, I
Yes.
mean, there's a couple, like I said, a couple of them coming out on Disney Plus this year. I'm gonna have to do more of my homework.
Yeah, when it
You
gets
know,
closer,
when it gets
we'll
closer.
discuss more about
But
those.
right now, the big movie right now is Guardians of the Galaxy 3. That's out.
God, I can't
and-
wait for it to be able to see it.
And I mean, we can. Hopefully, it'll be out on Disney Plus soon,
Yeah.
or we can rent it on the TV soon.
Yeah.
Theaters are kind of hard for us to go to now, so.
Well, speaking of that, we're going to switch topics a little bit. Recently, and by recently, I mean in the last 6 weeks ish, Papa lost his job. Very suddenly, no warning, after 6 years, and last year receiving 2 separate awards for his great work.
Trophies.
Yeah, actual trophies that we have sitting in our curio cabinet. And it was a huge shock, a horrible blow. I mean, don't get me wrong, I'm not going to say exactly how much money he made, but it was fairly lower middle class. Okay, which is the first time we've ever hit that mark ever.
Yeah.
And we were doing pretty well. We were trying to like do better and like plan for the future. And our big goal, and has been since we went to Maui 3 years ago,
Yeah.
is to move to Hawaii because it is the most peaceful, gorgeous.
Or any island.
any.
Hawaii.
I'm not picky. Give me an island.
Yeah.
And it was just being that close to the equator. I found out actually helps reduce my pain, and because we were like, man, it's like magical. Didn't hurt as bad down there. It was like
No.
maybe some like vacation miracle. I don't know.
Humidity was not as
There was no
high.
humidity. It was just the weather was beautiful. My bones and my body didn't hurt near as bad. And when we got back, I researched that and actually found out that being closer to the equator actually reduced like something about less gravity or something. And it actually is a real thing that you have less pain when you are closer to the equator. So like if it's gonna help me even a little bit with my pain, plus we get to live in paradise,
And
Papa's
we could podcast in paradise.
we could do anything we want
Yeah.
in paradise.
Yeah.
But back to the sitch. Yeah, that was our goal, and we were working hard to getting towards that, saving money and figuring out what all we got to do to make it happen and all this stuff. And then this happens out of the blue, and we were not prepared at all. Now, don't get me wrong, Papa was amazing. He had a job within 7 hours of losing his job. But we knew that was going to be a temporary situation.
Yep.
It was not a job that he felt was in his wheelhouse, but it was a job. It was an income, and that's all we needed until he could find something else. Then my very best friend, where she works, they were looking for property managers. And I mean, that sounded like it'd be cool, something
Yep.
different, you know?
Management, yeah.
And he jumped on it. And so, in what, within 2 weeks, you had 3 jobs?
I'm gonna have lots of what are those W-2 forms, or whatever, that's for taxes.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm gonna have a couple of those next year. I've only had one of those in the
For-
last 5 years.
Yeah.
You
Now
know,
we're going to have
next
3
year
already.
I'm gonna have three at least. Yeah.
And the job doesn't pay that great, much less than his other job. There's no benefits for a year, which is really tough because, as you will find out more in depth, Lizard has a lot of mental health issues. She has schizophrenia with bipolar, anxiety, and depression. So she has to take her psych meds every day.
Diabetes.
And she's diabetic with high cholesterol because of the
Medicine.
the medication that causes those things in a lot of people, which we were never told about. She ended up in the hospital one time, and she was having a psychotic episode, and it was because her sugar was so high, and we didn't even know she was diabetic. And it's been a big learning curve.
And it was the cause of it was her medication.
Yes. And Papa is also diabetic. He has
Diabetes.
high blood pressure.
Blood pressure is good now.
Well,
because
because you have medicine.
Yes.
We've because they are insulin dependent, we've been using Walmart for their cheap $25 vials of insulin. No pens for us, nothing easy peasy, because even before his insurance we couldn't afford it. So, but at least they have what they need to be healthy, right?
Well, healthy as we can be.
Right.
So.
Exactly. But now, to say he stays at this job for a while, they don't offer insurance for a year.
Yeah.
And that is a huge problem. I don't know how many of you have been without insurance, but like we went without insurance, you and I, for like 10 years when we were younger, because our jobs did not offer it.
And we were younger.
Right, and we didn't really need it. Well, I mean, that was when my back and stuff was starting to go,
we
and
needed it, but I mean, our bodies were younger.
but we couldn't afford to do,
our bodies
like,
were
we
bad.
would go to the doctor and they'd be like, oh, we want to do x-rays and MRIs and blood tests and all this stuff. And I'm like, okay, are you paying for it? Because we don't have insurance, and you know this. So, I mean, I can't say the doctor did really try to work with us as best they could with what we could do. But it was so much nicer with insurance. You could just go to the doctor when you were sick or
I
you
didn't have any
feel well.
co-pays when I went to the doctor.
Yeah, so I mean, it's like, it was expensive. It was like, what, $300 a paycheck or something?
It was quite a bit, yeah. But I was making so much that it would still. I mean, even with the 300 less, I mean, with because of my bonuses and everything, it would actually make up for the medical expenses. So, but yeah, I mean, diabetes. I have an issue with my collarbone. I used to be able to bowl, but I can't bowl anymore because of my.
You have a partially torn
rotator cuff. Yes, and I've never had any surgeries, and I don't plan on having any.
Or broken bones.
Or broken bones. That was me knocking on wood. So I just got to make sure that
I don't want to jinx you.
Exactly. So I've had a fractured ankle. That's as worst as I've had. Yeah, I told you about the time when we're playing. Me and my brother and a friend of ours.
So you had a broken ankle?
Well, it's fractured. They didn't say it was broken. They said the bone is fractured, but they said a fracture can be worse than a break. So
what did they do for it?
I don't think I had wrap on it and having a cast. But what happened was I was playing backyard football. Okay, with me, it was me and a couple of our friends, my brother and a couple of our friends, and I was in. We had that circle, my mom and dad's old place, and in the middle of the circle it's grass. It's pavement, it's road pavement, and then it's like a what are those called?
A cul-de-sac.
A cul-de-sac, exactly. And I went and I caught the pass. It was a touchdown. But when I caught it, my foot went into a hole and snapped. And I was down and out. And I wasn't out. wasn't unconscious or nothing. Like the time I got
But
hit.
you were, didn't your dad say you sounded like a cow?
That's when I actually went over my handlebars when I was on a bike,
Oh,
and
that's
the handlebars went into my stomach.
Gotcha.
Yeah, I didn't sound like a cow when I probably sounded more like a little girl, probably. Probably a human girl. But there was another time where I was actually playing. I had stitches in my upper lip. I was actually when I was playing. I was 15. I was playing, or no, I was like 14, 13, 14, something like that. It was a long time ago. And I was playing baseball, and it was pregame. And the coach hits you, ball, fly balls for defense, and he hit me a fly ball, and of course I tripped over something in the outfield. And all I remember is waking up with my face on the ground covered in blood. And I woke up and I see all of my teammates and my coaches looking at me. So those are, knock on wood, the two serious injuries
Pansy.
injuries I've had, except for the time I got run over by a car. But
That we'll save that story for another
yeah,
episode.
yeah, I ran myself over. How's that?
No, well, sort of.
Yeah, my own car ran me over.
But today, I mean, especially, I mean, you are in your later 40s,
Mhm.
and like last couple weeks, you've had issues with your ear,
And
like it's
yeah,
really hurting and
jaw
feeling
area.
dizzy
Mhm.
and pain down in your jaw and all this stuff. And I begged you to go to the doctor before you lost your insurance. I was like, please go get all the stuff checked out, especially your ears, because you have a lot of trouble with your ears.
What?
And he can't hear for crap, y'all.
That's called
He had a hearing test, and he does need a hearing aid. He's just too stubborn and prideful to wear one.
no, what? I don't know. I don't need a hearing aid.
That is not what the audiologist said.
No, I don't need. I do not, and that's not.
And
That's
just
not
like
what he
you
said.
don't need glasses,
I do need glasses.
but you don't wear them.
Exactly. I don't.
Y'all, this is what I deal with. Okay. Moving on from that, just so we don't get in an argument on the cast. But insurance is been a hot topic in the like politics and all this stuff for gosh, going on a decade now.
Yeah.
And I hate to make anything political because I don't like like I said, negativity is like the last thing in my world that I want. But it affects your everyday life. When you cannot go to the doctor, when you have pain, when you have these things that are going on with you, and you literally cannot afford to even go to a doctor to see what's what. I mean, our doctor does pretty well, but I think he charges like $55 or $60 for an office visit without insurance. And I know some of you, if you live in bigger cities and things like that, that's nothing.
In
I
different
get
parts
that.
of the country.
Yes, I totally understand. That's nothing. But we can't go afford to go see a movie right now. Like, we can't pay all of our bills all at one time or even every month because we're like paying, sometimes they take turns, and we're doing the very best we can. But um it's not easy. And I know it's not easy for a lot of you guys out there. And so we're not doing this as a poor, pitiful us, feel sorry for us, whatever. This is about, hey, if you're going through something similar, we feel you. We are in the same boat. We understand. Or if you've ever been in the same boat, or if you're ever afraid of being in that boat, believe me, we understand.
Or if you think there's no coming out of that boat, there is. I mean, we were actually in a worse boat a long time ago.
Oh my gosh. I don't know how we
Our
made
boat
it.
was sinking.
Yeah.
And we doggy paddled in the water, and we ended up getting to shore, and then we're fine. I mean, this here is just a little blip on the radar as far as our family goes. I mean, it's we have your
It's
good
a big ass
times.
blip, but it's a blip.
You have your good times and you have your bad times. And the last 5+ years, we've had some really good times. I was able to go to actually have a cruise. Went to Jamaica. And for
Our 10th
our
anniversary.
10th anniversary. What was our wedding vow? It was our new
Well,
vow renewal.
we renewed our wedding vows for our 10th anniversary
Yeah.
because the first time we got married, we just went to the courthouse. And so we had renewed our vows and had the whole big wedding and the reception. And we never went on a honeymoon either
Yeah.
because we had no money. So, yeah, we 10th anniversary, we did it, and I don't know how we managed to do it,
But
but
we went there, and then we also went to Hawaii. So I mean, the last
yeah, we
five
went to
plus
Maui
years,
for a week.
you know, I mean, we've been doing pretty well. So now I think this is probably reality hitting us, saying don't get too comfortable and don't get your britches too big.
Right.
You know, so. But as far as the insurance goes, I think if politicians can get free insurance, why can't we?
Or even if like everybody pays like a certain percentage of their salary to like a privatized or even public like Medicare system or something where it's guaranteed that everybody gets the same.
Every other country has free healthcare.
Yep.
Okay. We are the
But they
richest,
pay a
the
flat tax for it.
so-called richest country in the world. Okay. We have so many billionaires out there. We don't need that many billionaires. All right. And if we had less billionaires, we would have, you know, I mean,
No,
we'd
what
have
makes
more
me mad, okay,
millionaires.
we have to pay like $3,500 in taxes for
Mhm.
last year, which right now we certainly cannot afford to pay.
Yeah.
We're gonna figure it out. I guess they'll take payments. I don't know. But like if we have to pay that much in taxes, which I know again, some of you that's nothing, and I understand that, but why do billionaires pay less than we do?
Exactly. And they shouldn't.
You know, why do billion-dollar corporations pay nothing in taxes?
And they get free healthcare. Some of them. Some of these billionaires don't ever pay for their health insurance.
Well, they don't
Or
have
these
to worry
millionaires.
about paying for anything because they've got plenty of money to pay
Yeah,
with.
I'm saying, but the small people like us and like people listening, okay, are paying for our health. You know, it's like a purge. You know, a little
Yeah.
bit. You know, I mean, I don't want to bring that up, and that's not part of the topics that you're going to talk about. But you
No,
know, I
yeah.
mean, it's as far as politics goes, I this wasn't the platform for it right now today. The episode for it. We're going to have another episode about that down the road.
No, but you're absolutely right,
But
though.
yeah, but I mean, we need people like the little people, okay, need help with insurance, you know, and whether you liked it or not, Obamacare actually tried to help us, you know, whether you're
Mallow wouldn't have insurance and wouldn't have had insurance for the last, what, was the cutoff 2018 or 22 or something like that before?
you know,
But she's coming up very closely on the cutoff age for
yeah,
insurance.
mhm,
And would have if we would still have insurance because you had both of the kids on your insurance at work.
I know,
Well, I'm just letting
yeah,
everyone
yeah,
know.
yeah. Sorry,
um, and you know that really helped her because her job at the time didn't have insurance either. You know, and she's got health issues and things that she has to take medicine for, and that helped her out. You know, and like right now, Lizard, you know, she would be able to be on your insurance for however many years still, and um, thankfully, I have because I am disabled. I have Medicare. Thankfully, I literally would not be able to survive without my medicines. Like, I have so many health issues that it just would not be plausible.
yeah,
And that's why I really like Liz with her bipolar and schizophrenia, and her social anxiety and how if she goes out like to the grocery store or something, if she goes out and there's too many people and if she has to go to too many places in one day, she's stuck at home for 3 or 4 days, if not longer, because she just can't leave the house again. How is she supposed to work? She's
exactly,
tried to work. How is she supposed to get a job and have insurance?
yeah,
You know, and she applied for disability, and which is a form of it, you know, for the insurance really is
mhm,
what we're looking for. And they sent our denial letter less than a week later. They couldn't have even gotten her medical records by then. And it's
exactly.
because they just don't
They just denied her,
care.
yeah, because they looked at her age and just denied her. That's what
Yeah.
it is. They looked at her age. Is it all? She's in her early 20s.
Yep.
You know, there's no way she can be disabled. But that's bullcrap.
I
You know,
agree.
and I think if you're part of that situation and you're not doing your job, shame on you.
You know, I was raised by my grandparents,
Hmm.
which we'll get more into that later when I do my bio. Um, and they were old school, you know, you pay your own way, you don't get charity, you know, you pay with cash, you don't use credit, and all these things that, you know,
Things were different back then too.
very different back then.
Yeah,
But I had that in my head for so long that, I mean, it was like 4 years since the day I was unable to work in 2010 before I applied for disability because I was ashamed. That mentality made me ashamed to even think about like, oh, because at the time I was like in my early-ish 30s,
Yeah.
early to
It
mid
was about 10
30s.
years ago. Yeah.
Um, and I was just like, oh, well, this is bull crap. I should be able to go to work. I need to take care of my family. I'd like, because you know me, I'm a doer. I
Mhm.
don't want to sit around and talk about it. I just want to do it. And that became impossible and more impossible as time went on. And finally, I looked at what it was doing to my family. You were busting your ass, like the kids, we were doing without, and it was just stupid. It was stupid pride that was putting my family.
But you did it, and it's good. We're good.
Yeah.
We're better. You actually got, the insurance that you
Once
needed.
I got the insurance, man, so much better. Able to find out, see specialists, figure out what the heck's going on with me, which is finally happening after a decade. So it's like insurance is so, so, so freaking important. People take it for granted. And yes, a lot of people have crappy insurance and it sucks. And that's not a great
My
thing.
parents had the crappiest.
And, I've heard where you work from my friend that works there that insurance is fairly crappy too. But
It's insurance.
it's insurance.
But you know what? Talking about like my mom and dad again. Uh, but my mom and dad worked 30 plus years at a factory, both of them.
Different ones.
Different
But
ones, yeah, different factories. But they were factory workers. They were getting paid less than the people that were getting hired in. And their insurance was also like, it's like they
they
didn't
had
have any
like a
insurance.
$10,000 yearly deductible.
And when my dad had a stroke, it was gone. I mean, I don't. They had to. Well, actually, they had to have. Unfortunately, had to have something serious like that happen for their insurance to help. But I don't even think their insurance helped that much because they were still paying.
I don't see how. I mean,
And this is an established company.
oh yeah, they've
Both
been
of them.
around for a long,
Yeah,
long
both
time.
both factories, both companies are established. It's not like they just started up. Not like it's a mom and pop company.
Right. No, no, I remember when all that was going on,
Yeah.
and then your dad had the cancer and things, and so like it was just like for the 5 years in a row. I mean, I think everything they had just got eaten up with doctor bills, and it was awful.
Yeah. It was the worst, and it's a shame that you have to go through that, and then you're in debt,
Yep.
and it just seems like
You worked your
some,
whole
and it
life.
seems like some people in government. I'm not saying everybody, okay, because we know there's probably a couple.
Bernie, Bernie,
There's people
Bernie.
there's
Sorry.
people in government that care, but a lot of them don't. About the little people.
Yeah.
And like I said, that's a purge on their end.
Oh yeah, they're like,
So-
oh well, if they just die, then we ain't got to worry about them.
But then they're also losing voters.
Well, we ain't voting for them anyway.
Well, but we're not the only ones they're targeting.
No, I agree.
You
Because let's be real, where you work,
I don't
you
stereotype.
you deal with a lot of low income people.
Mhm.
Some are elderly apartments, some are just low income, Section 8 HUD, things like that. And most of those people always bitch about people with their handout.
Yeah, and
They're the ones who are living in a handout.
they should look in the mirror. Exactly. And there's nothing wrong with that.
No,
as
if
far
you
as,
need it, God bless you.
but if you're
you know?
voting against your best interest, then there's something wrong with that.
Yes.
Okay,
And
if
being
you're
completely contradictory and a hypocrite.
exactly, if you're getting a handout, okay, if we're paying you to live there, okay, that's a handout, okay, and if you're like bitching about people that are getting handouts,
And they're thinking like
Shame
food
on you.
stamps
Shame on you.
or, I don't know what all there is out there anymore.
well, there's food stamps, yeah,
But I mean, there's like other like ways you get
Well,
like
like,
cash money and things.
well, like electrical assistance, like energy
Yeah.
assistance, they get that. In fact, some people get like if they don't use all their assistance,
they
for
get a
the-
monthly stipend, a set amount. But
Yeah.
if they don't use that much electric in a month, they get the difference.
Yep, they get like a $60-$70 check, something like that, whichever. It is a good example.
Yeah.
But they get like
And again, these are programs out there that are great.
oh yeah,
For disabled people, for elderly people, for people who are working and just, have a low income. Those are great. Not an issue in the world. But those same people are voting for the people who want to get rid of those things, and that's what drives us crazy.
and if that happens, all those people will be homeless. All those buildings will be empty.
Yeah.
You know, there'd be people out of jobs.
Like you.
Well, like me, yeah. I mean, you know, I mean, and who knows? By that time, I might have another job anyway. But right now, I actually like the job I'm at right now, and it's helping people.
Just wish it paid a little
It's
better
actually
and had better or an insurance faster.
it's actually better than what the job I had before, where I wasn't helping people so much.
You feel
But
better about what you do.
yes, I feel better about what I do. It's a shame that you have to help people. You're taking less money than if you're screwing people.
Right.
You know, that's just the way this world and this country is anymore. But
Unfortunately, yeah.
but
I
I mean,
didn't think about it like that,
but
but you're absolutely right.
only us citizens can actually make a difference.
That's
You
right.
know, if you go out there and vote, or vote for people that you want in, pay attention to politics. Again, this isn't a political episode, but I guess it somewhat is.
Because it's all connected. That's the bad thing. It's
Yeah.
all connected.
But
And here's the
even
thing.
even Marvel's kind of like political.
Oh, and I love it when our favorite shows where they are like, "Oh, the president is who?"
Yeah.
You know, back when
Well, no,
that
I mean-
the Cheeto was in there.
But you know what? But Iron Man's political.
All right, that's why I love him.
Yeah. I mean, Iron Man, the show, the movie's political about him and being a weapon. You know. Stuff
Yeah.
Like that.
Against the government.
Yeah. Captain America's political.
Yeah.
Hail Hydra.
Huh.
You know, stuff like that. But it just, everything's political anymore. Whether it be TV shows, you don't
Because
have to
again,
watch
it all
the
comes back
mainstream media.
to being able to. If people would just pay their fair share, who can, everything would be we could take care of the people who need it so badly. Like I would give anything in the world, in the subject of jobs, to be able to work. You know how bad I miss it.
Yeah, I know.
I would give, like, every time they tell me about a new treatment or a new medication, like I had surgery to put a nerve stimulator in to help with the pain. Everything they give me to try, I'm like, I look at him and I'm like, hey, if I get good enough, maybe I could go back to work even part-time.
It's not helping, though.
Every time, though, because that's my that's my dream, to get my freaking life back. These diseases, everything that they find out is wrong with me, stole my fucking life.
Yeah.
Excuse my language, y'all, but it is the straight ass truth. My body revolted and stole my life. I used to be super mom. I'd get up, go to work all day, come home, make dinner, help kids with the homework, do their stuff with them, hang out with the husband, it would clean the house. I did it all. The rest of them could sit around and be lazy little slugs because I was super mom. I did all the grocery shopping, all the bill paying, all the errands, and I loved it. And now I don't have any of that. Sorry about that, everybody. More puppers think that there's someone at the door and there isn't. They just get excitable. It's okay. But anyway, this episode's getting a little bit long. Is there anything else on the subject? Like, I do want to reiterate something that you said that I think was really important. Just because you're in a down slump or, your things aren't going your way. Like already, since January 1st, this has been a terrible year. I was sick for literally sick for 2 solid months. In and out of the doctors with antibiotics, doing all these different things. And then, just so much stuff. But, so we call it the year of suck. Okay? And I just said, we got to keep our heads down. Just be like a little turtle in our shell. And maybe the year will forget we're here and pass us by.
Well, keep your heads up and fight through it. That's all we can do.
I'm a turtle. I want to be that. I'm just gonna hide from this year and pretend.
Are you turtly enough for the Turtle Club?
About this, I am, because it's like I feel like every time we stick our head up a little bit, like we see the sun shining behind the cloud, and then the wind comes and smacks us in the ass, and it's like, nope, And it's been like that all year so far. And I know it's only May, but I mean, it has just been a year, and we go through these cycles, and that's exactly what it is. It's a cycle, and it will end. It will get better. No matter how dark it seems, you're not alone. We are here for you. If you need to, have a little bit of encouragement, here it is. You can do it. And you just never give up. that was the thing that you said that I think needed to be reiterated was don't give up.
Yeah, don't give up. Life is not easy, no matter how much money you make, no matter what job you have.
Although it does
There's
make it
there's
easier.
always going to be some issues,
Yep.
always. So yes, money does make it easier, but then with that money, you have a separate set of
Problems.
problems,
Yep.
so you're always going to have problems. So just keep your head up, keep digging away at it. I mean, if you lose your job and you have to take something less than what you think is, in your area of expertise, take it long enough to just
Till you
get an
find what you
income
want.
until you find something else, something
Check
else
is a
better.
check.
A check is a check, and as long as it's legal,
Well,
until you find that right job.
do illegal jobs pay you with a check? I thought that was like cash.
Well, yeah, it's cash, but I don't know. I'm not sure how the mafia paid people back in the
Oh,
day.
yeah,
It's
true,
probably
yeah, I don't
cash. It's
know.
probably cash.
Yeah.
But I, like if you're looking for a job, take whatever you can get. If you have to, be a fast food worker,
You
flip
did it for
burgers.
20 years.
I did it, and it pays better now than what it did when I was
Oh
working
my
there.
God, yes.
But I mean, suck up your pride. Do
Yep.
it. Make it be like a stepping stone or a bridge to what you really want to do.
It's a challenge,
So
And who knows? I mean, you started at the bottom almost every place you've worked at and
have.
always worked yourself up to management.
I have worked my way from bottom to top all the time. Yeah.
And I think well, in a way that's good because then you learn what it's like to be the little guy.
I wouldn't have won my awards if I didn't start as a customer service rep and work my way up to a general manager. I never would have won my awards.
That's very because you know what it's like to be
Yeah.
in every position. And if more what's it like, I don't want to say higher ups, but if more bigwigs, more
Corporate hacks,
people or
corporate
even,
hacks.
big
Yes.
even like regional managers, district managers, like if they haven't worked those little jobs,
Exactly. They
it's
fail.
you can't
You're going to fail in the long run.
yeah, because you don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
And so I've always respected the fact that, for your family, you've taken whatever job you had to take to do what you had to do. And were you proud of your title all the time? Heck no. But you did it and you did it well and you always advanced everywhere you went because
Just like I wasn't proud of the miles that I put on the car either during those times.
yeah.
But hey, things happen. You just dust yourself off, pick yourself up, and keep going.
I think that's a great end right
And
there.
that's what we've been doing since day one.
That's right. And we will keep doing till the end. All right, y'all. Well, it was so great chatting with you. We hope to hear if you have any questions, comments, or anything else you want to add. Feel free to just tell us your story. We like to hear what's going on with you guys too. So y'all be safe. Have a great day, and we will talk to you later.
Bye, y'all.
Come on back down to Big Mama's house. Bye.